What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square, now from the DJ Information Group. And tonight we have a legend. We have someone who's been around quite a while. She knows her way around the turntables, and she's been on multiple top New York City radio shows. And let me tell you, who am I talking about? None other than the legendary DJ Lady D Wells. What's up? How you doing?
Wow, I love that. I love that. I would like to hear that again, but thanks for having me. Thank you for having me on your show. Appreciate
We
it.
really appreciate you accepting. I am DJ Square, not of course I just introduced, and welcome to the DJ Information Group.
Thank you.
And the DJ Information Group is a group that's all about teaching, learning, sharing, and uplifting the members in there, along with the culture, and really tapping into the history of music. And and as we do that, we find out and we learn a lot, and we manage to engage legends like yourself, who can come in, who can share and sprinkle some knowledge on us, and really help us understand even more about the culture and the history. So we really appreciate you for being here.
Thank you.
So of course, there are some of your homies, like you said, that are in here. We got DJ Tommy Guns in here. Welcome and salute to you, my brother. We got DJ Desire in here. Salute, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We're looking here. I'm trying to see. I see DJ Cool G in here. Salute. Several, and along with, of course, the DJ Information Group, we got a team in here of moderators that come in here. We got the legendary DJ Baby D from the Mercedes Ladies. One of the very first DJs, female DJs out there. She's in here supporting. So appreciate you and salute. So in all of that, you got some people that really have come out and they really want to hear you, want to hear your story. And of course, I want to hear the story. So the first question I'm going to ask is, tell us who DJ Lady D Wells is.
Wow. Well, Lady D Wells is one of the fortunate female DJs to come through the industry, at the time. And I know I watched Baby D. I watched her interview and how she pretty much, had to face, being in a man's, game. And technically it was a man's game. It still is a man's game to me. I was able to pretty much enjoy what I did so much that it didn't bother me to be around a bunch of guys doing what I did. I did it because I love to do the music. So I've been doing clubs for about 30 years. Prior to that, I was just playing around with my brother Stanley. A lot of people think Reggie Wells is my brother, my cousin, or he's related to me. But Reggie and I just have the same last name, and we just happen to do the same thing, spin music. So Reggie pretty much brought me under his wing. So everybody thought that I was his sister. But it was technically my real brother, Stanley Wells, was the one that actually taught me the game, the business, the DJing, turntables. And when Reggie met me, I was already in it. So it was almost like I just transferred from one to the other. And Reggie brought me into the club scene. And from the Crane Club, I actually started at Sweetwater's when I met Reggie. And Reggie said, "Oh, I heard about you. And I said, "Yeah, my last name is Wells too." He said, "No, it ain't." He said, "Let me see your driver's license." So I handed my driver's license. He said, he said, "I'm gonna bring you in with me to the Crane Club." And from that day on, and that was in about 1995, roughly. I've been doing clubs from 1995, but I've been spinning prior to that. So that's how I got into the game. It was just a thing that Reggie stopped by the Crane Club on a hot night, and he just grabbed me, took me into his venues, and it's been what it's been ever since.
So, and of course, like you say, you were doing it before, and I know that just enabled you to elevate your passion for the music. And I took a lot of time out to listen to your SoundCloud and the different genres and the different mixes that you have posted. And I have to say, you did your work. You did your thing.
Thank you.
And what I like about you is that you have techniques that work for multiple genres. instead of it being one of those things where you're just stuck. And that's really, really, that's a valuable, valuable attribute for a DJ to have. And you have that. And when I was also taking a look at your bio, I was like, okay, she has the passion for DJing. She obviously has the techniques for DJing. She can mix in multiple genres. But then also, I see that you're spilling that into children.
Got to do that.
And that was one of the things that I was like, now, that's where it really counts a lot of times. When you can take what you are doing and you can spill it into children. And what I mean by that is she teaches kids. And that right there is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, I've been blessed to have a talent like this. It's an odd talent to have as a woman and to be good with it. It's so hard to see kids out here today that don't get the opportunity to see what we do behind closed doors. I've done school parties. I've been in the education system doing little parties here and there. And I like the kids come by and they'll touch the buttons and, they all start laughing and getting excited. And I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna bring this into the community. I'm gonna get some equipment I got and, show them the basic technique. And you would not believe how fast these kids pick up technique, beat matching. They are very quick. Some of them are quicker than me. So that really showed me that there's a need in for these kids to do something constructive. The arts have been taken away from the schools. You know what I mean? So the kids in school don't get like instruments. I remember when I was in school, I had a little flute. You got a chance to touch instruments and things like that. They don't have that, in the school system anymore. So I said, I'm gonna bring my little DJ set out. I'm gonna rent a spot out in Harlem. I rented a spot out and I just said, come on in and I'm just gonna show you what we do. And then I got connected to the Parks Department with it. They saw what I was doing and I started doing it for the Parks Department. So I enjoy dealing with kids because I like to see that they have an opportunity to see what we really do as DJs.
And when I was reading about the where you were doing that at the Dream Center in Harlem,
Right.
as you mentioned, and then you connected with the Parks Department, and I was like, that's, people don't understand that it may just be something that you're saying, but that's a pretty big deal because the Parks Department, you're connecting yourself to the city. Now, of course, they see what you're doing for the kids, but then that also opens you up to be exposed for other things of your own endeavors as it relates to if you want to throw something in jams or different other things that related to community events and so on and so forth. So that's truly a blessing in there. And is to establish those types of relationships is just absolutely wonderful. So I salute you for that. And definitely the thing with the kids, because there's nothing like teaching a kid how to DJ or teaching them something. And then you sit maybe 5, 6, maybe 10 years later, and they grow up and they're doing it to the point where it's at a professional level. And then they see you and they say, or they're out somewhere and you're just sitting in a crowd, sitting in the back. You may be sitting way in the back and they say, I want to thank DJ Lady D Wells because she is the one that got me here. She's the one that's put me on this track right here, and that's got to be one of those like just utmost achieving moments. So salute to you for that. Getting back to some of the top radio stations, because I was sitting there and, me growing up in Brooklyn, New York, I remember back in the day, listening to Mr. Magic and everybody on WBLS. And when I saw that you was on WBLS, I got excited. I was like, and it took me back to my childhood. So tell me about the different radios. Tell us about the different radio stations you've worked on, and then we'll get back. And then I'll tell you one of the things that I used to do when it came to WBLS, just to kind of make a quick laugh on it.
Wow. So I started off in Connecticut. I was playing for WYBC in Connecticut. I would go out there every Saturday morning, play for an hour. It was like a 2-hour drive, but I would go out there, play in Connecticut. Then I worked with WYBC, which is Yale University up in Fordham Road in the Bronx. They did a college radio show there, and it was Sir Panic. And he did a lot of house music, and, he always wanted us to get in the house music. And from there, I just kind of floated around, at the club scene. And then finally, I was offered an opportunity with Kiss FM. And that was through Bill Foster and Reggie Wells. Mm-hmm. And I had already been working for Reggie, but they had Lenny Green kissing After Dark one night. And this when Serato first came out. I was like the only person that had this computer, and the program director was waiting for Reggie to get there. So she's looking at this thing and she's saying, "Oh my God, where's the records at?" And I said, "It's inside the computer." She said, "Inside the computer? How you gonna play the record?" And before long, Lenny's counting down and she says, "Play something." So I started playing Serato. After Serato, after that night, she got my number. I came into Kiss and I started playing for Kiss FM. And before long, Kiss kind of sort of went to, the sports channel, ESPN. That was out. Then I had an opportunity to go to BLS. I went to BLS and I played with BLS. Great and all. I mean, it's the old school, you get to play there. It's like, you get to play what you want to play. Especially at Kiss, it was a little more, less structured because it was more club DJs in Kiss than BLS. BLS was more structured and kind of sort of controlled to kind of sort of want to give you more radio stuff that people know, So I was with BLS, and then I went to 108 Soul, where I'm at right now. And 108 Soul is internet-based, great radio station, because I can dig so deep into the crates, it's not funny. They allow you to play whatever it is you want to play. Now, when you're playing for commercial, you got to be careful what you play. Commercial radio don't really want you to dig too deep because you lose the listener. There's a lot to that. There's a lot of politics, I would say, involved in playing commercial radio than playing internet radio. But with internet radio, you can grab people because they're like, "Oh man, I haven't heard that in a long time. Oh my God." They get excited about the records. They send you stuff to play and you just try to work it in your rotation. I enjoyed BLS, Shayla and Bugsy and, the whole team there. Everybody was really special, moving on. Sometimes you just got to move on. And I felt that the ability and talents that I had, I wanted to spread it a little bit differently. And I was able to do that with 108 Soul that I'm on now. And I enjoy doing that.
Gotcha. So, that's a beautiful thing for people to acknowledge your skills and your talents. And you wind up bouncing around to some of the major stations. And then you get to internet-based station where, true, in the, WBLS or any of these other stations, KISS or whatever, of course, they're in New York. And of course, because people know them. But back then, there wasn't this thing as booming as it is right now called the internet. So now you're on 108 Soul and you're not only reaching, your local state, you're reaching the world.
Exactly.
So, and you're able to, at that particular point, just really dig, like you say, dig into your crates. And again, I listened to one of your joints, the 70s versus 80s. I listened to volume 1 and volume 2. And I was like, and see me, that's what I play a lot of oldies myself. And I was sitting there going, all right now, and it's some of them songs that you played out, how you get that crunchy face where you're like, oh man, she went way in. She really dug in. It's like you went there. And I love that about you because you know how to dig and you kept your flow so consistent. It was just beautiful. It was like you really told a story through the tracks that you played. So that was really awesome there as well. Now, we of course, you know, we talked about some things, but then in 2017 you launched your own radio station. We're going to back up there for a second.
Right.
And that's the XLDJS.
Right.
Tell us something about that, and then we'll skip forward into some of your current stuff.
So when I got the idea to launch that show, it was really to give the DJ the opportunity, like how unfortunately COVID has given the Facebook region the widespread opportunity for everybody to go live. I've met DJs on live that I've never heard of. So XL DJs gave the DJs that I knew and I got to meet an opportunity to be on a radio station and push their talents. Some people were really serious with it, where they would give me different mixes every single week. Some people would just like slack off. So if I gave you a time slot and you had a fan base, even a small fan base, they know people aren't stupid. These people out here are smart. They know if it's a pre-tape, they know what they've heard it before because they follow it. So it started to become a problem in that area. And then the tracking of trying to track all the DJs and trying to get them to submit was where I ran into some difficult times. And I said, you know, for the money I'm paying, BMI, ASCAP, you know, it's a lot of money you pay. You pay thousands into these agencies to pay the artists. So I said, you know what? I got to put this down because there's too much money involved. I got to make sure everybody's capable of doing it. And I got to have the right people in line. And quite a few of the guys were really good at it. You know, I will relaunch though. It will be relaunched.
And you said something that's very important for people to understand, and I mentioned that, and I'm glad that you brought that back up, and that is because you got some, and I've heard a lot of DJs say, "Oh man, I'm gonna start this internet radio station," but there's a whole bunch behind the scenes that has to happen when it comes to launching an internet radio station and keeping one up. There's a lot. We have a DJ here, DJ Silent Professor. He's helping someone out, and some of the stuff that he showed us, I was just like, oh my God, you know. So I totally understand that, and it takes time. It takes the one thing that I always say that we can't get back, and that is just that time. Along with other things, you know, so there's a lot of different things you have to go in terms of getting the artist paid and all that. So I salute you again for identifying that early on instead of getting your head below water, and then it becomes another situation. You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
you saw it, you understood it, and now as it relates to it, you know that you can easily go back from what you've learned and then pick up from there and keep it going. So definitely a good knowledge, definitely some good knowledge to have, and we appreciate you sharing that. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about, of course, I saw where you graduated from Manhattan College. Now, was that music related, or was that what was your major on that?
Organizational management.
Okay, so you know all about building business and running it and all of that.
Yeah, so pretty much I went for that organizational management to help me actually work with the kids. And actually you can't, you know, I always feel you can't teach somebody, you can't tell them to go to school if you don't go to school.
Can you say that again?
You can't teach children to go to school if you don't go to school. And to me, taking the education to another level had to be done. And I pretty much did that so that I could be more effective and learn how to teach people, younger people, you know, business and business ethics, the whole 9 yards. Because even with this DJing thing, we DJ, it's a business behind this DJing thing. I don't care what nobody tells me.
Yes. I'm glad you're saying this, because there's been so many debates to where we had some DJs that actually said, DJ is not in the business. Well, hold up now.
That's right.
Regardless to how you put it, unless you stay in your bedroom and you never leave your bedroom.
That's right.
Once the very first time you engage someone and you engage them for pay, It is officially a business.
You better believe it.
It's officially a business at that point. And I tried to explain that. I tried to explain that to this DJ, and he was like, "No, square not. That's just me doing something, whatever." And I said, "Listen to this. What happens if, you know, hey, you go out there, you start doing that, and then someone else, because you say you're a bedroom DJ and you're just gonna do this, and someone else sees and they want you to come out, are you just gonna turn that down?"
Right.
And he's like, "No." I'm like, "So now you got 2 gigs. 2 gigs turns into 4 gigs. 4 gigs turn into 8 gigs. Is it still not a business?" And he was like, "Nah." I said, "Well, I said, do me one favor. When you go play for these gigs, don't charge." And he said, "Man, you crazy."
It's a business. It's a business all the way down the block.
It's a business. It's a business. So I'm glad you said that. Thank you. That confirmation is there. So of course I could sit here and talk to you forever because I found your biography really intriguing.
Thank you.
And also when you go to your website, one of the things that I love about you is that you are setting the expectation from the get-go. You say LDW Entertainment presents events in New York City for the 35 and older crowd. You're letting people know right off the bat who you dealing with, the demographic you dealing with.
That's right. That's right.
Beautiful, because
I love the kids, but
love the kids.
Adult time is adult time, and you know that's what I do.
Yes. Love the kids.
I love the
But
kids.
you know what? 35 and older is where it is.
Exactly.
So I totally agree. So we have several people on here, DJs, and we have other guests as well. And it's beautiful to see all of you all. You guys look really great on here, and really appreciate the support. And what we want to do is we want to go through each of you and have you guys ask her a question. Ask DJ Lady D Wells a question. So we're going to do that. And I think the primary admin, I think he's on here. I did see. Oh, there he is, Rod Flash. I don't know if he's at work or not, but if he's not, he'll unmute. Let me turn off the ability to unmute. Now he should be able to do that. And there you go, DJ Rod Flash.
Hey, Rod.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lady D.
Hey, Rod.
First, I commend you for working with the kids. That's one of the things that we need, and it's giving these kids something to do. And you know, when we came up, that kept us, the love of music kept us outside doing the dumb stuff, you know. But the only thing I gotta say is keep doing what you're doing, salute you, and when you're in that radio station, you might want to look into Live 365.
Okay.
And because they pay the licensing also, and it's not that expensive.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you very much for the info.
Thank you.
All right. So the next DJ, of course, it wouldn't be right. And I know she's going to get me at our meeting after this because I told her that I'm not finished. So I'm waiting for her to get me on that. But she's really close. She's like a daughter to me.
Okay.
And she connected us to you. I love her. So she's cool. She's good to go. And that's DJ Big Body. What's up?
What's up, sis?
Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm good, dear. How you doing today?
Fabulous.
Fantastic.
I only have 2 questions. One question is, what made you decide to become a DJ?
Funny, my brother Stanley, my true brother Stanley would have these little parties. I was about 15, 16. And, you know, back in the days, they did a lot of stuff in parks, and then they did a lot of community room things. So he would do the community room, and then he would, like, leave me, you know, he said, watch this for me, watch this for me. Watch the turntables. Don't let a white touch it. And then he would go and take care of business, and then I'd end up playing. I'd end up playing half the night. And after a while, I just started enjoying the music. Oh, man, I like this record. I like that record. Then I'd go buy records because people would ask me, did you have this record? You have that record? So I would go and, you know, build on the records at the record stores. And that's how I started playing. I really like playing. So my brother really got me started, my brother Stanley.
Cool. So my next question is, what obstacle have you faced as a DJ?
Wow, good one. There's a few. I'll say it. And truly, when you run into a crowd, you can't move.
Yeah.
You know, your night is real long at that point. So, I mean, if you truly have done this and you have a night where you just can't figure out what your audience wants, that has been one of the hiccups I had, and I had to learn to get around that.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, salute.
Thank you for your question.
Cool beans. Now we got my man DJ Michael E. What's up?
Good evening, Lady D. Wells.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good, great. I'm glad you were able to join us this evening. I just want to congratulate you and salute you for your community work. I mean, that's something to be revered for sure. The only thing I was wondering, question-wise, is what do you feel is the new normal for DJs now? You know, you've seen all the changes occur in radios. A lot of radios become syndicated. We're doing the online streams. What do you see as the new normal for DJs starting out today?
Right now, that's the new normal, right? Being online. Unfortunately, Facebook has now shut everybody down as of, I think, tomorrow or a Wednesday or Thursday. It's hard to say what the new norm is going to be. I mean, if we were all in the summertime in the parks doing what we were doing. The wintertime is going to be interesting. Just stay practiced up, because I know in the beginning of it, I stopped, and when I started really getting back into it, it took me a minute to get the rhythm back. But I mean, you never lose it, but you know, just getting that rhythm back. But I don't know.
Right.
The norm is going to be a good question.
Okay.
I can't
We'll
wait.
look forward to see what happens.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
God bless you. Thank you.
Bless you.
All right. So you brought one of your homies in here, and I feel that I need to go ahead on and give him the opportunity real quick. DJ Tommy Guns, what's up?
What's happening? What's good? How's everybody out there?
Everybody's good, man. Good to see you, man.
Everybody's good. I came to show love to my twin. That's my twin right there. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the monster that I am today. Because, oh my God. Whew. Being with D. Wells is a delight. It's really a delight. It's also a learning experience. Trust what I tell you when it's a learning experience with Lady D. Wells. I mean, she was like the greatest protege I ever had. You know what I'm saying? She taught me a lot. I see her in action all the time. I'm by her side basically all the time, you know, but she taught me a lot. She showed me a lot of fundamentals that I needed to learn that I can do now. You know, so I like to just show my gratitude and my love to D. Wells, you know. And just to let you know, our birthday's on the same day. That's why we twin like that.
That's all right. That's all right. Cool beans. Well, we appreciate you being here, my brother. Really do.
No doubt.
We have I saw him a few minutes ago. DJ I-95. I always say this is the brother that travels up and down the Eastern Seaboard. DJ I-95. What's up?
What's up? It's an honor, pleasure. Story. I'm from Harlem, number one. Number two, I live in New Haven, Connecticut, so I know about YBC. I know about Yale. I work in the area of Yale, so I definitely, just hearing that story, that just touched my heart.
Yes, sir. Coon, Castillo, and the whole thing, right?
Billy Bush.
Yeah,
Billy Bush.
Right.
My boy. Billy Bush is my boy. So, you.
Salute to him.
Victor Bush was so brilliant.
All right. So now we have my man DJ Prime Time. What's up? Unmute yourself, bro.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
All right. Hey, Lady D. Wells. Hey, what's up, Square? Now, how you feel, man?
All is well, man. Good to see you.
All right. Miss Lady D. Wells, how are you?
Fantastic. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Our paths have crossed quite a few times. I'm from the New York area. Yeah, and I remember a party you did, I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. at that club on it was on 33rd Street and like 2nd Avenue, that big hall.
Romanian Hall.
Right, the Romanian Hall, right, with Super Tracks.
Oh boy, yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah,
Right, and like you had your own little room over there on the side there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Exactly. Yeah, I stayed in that room the whole night
It's all good.
because you was killing it. Yeah, I just want to say big ups to you, big up to what you're into, and all that. And I also want to get have you give people a little history on how'd you get your name. I know. I want how you get your name.
So again, Reggie Wells. I used to call myself Miss D, DJ Miss D. And when Reggie Wells bumped into me at Sweetwaters, I said, Reggie, my name is Wells too. He said, no, it ain't. I showed him my license. And he changed it to Lady D Wells. That's how.
Hey, that's the history for the guys out there who don't know.
Well,
Big up to you.
That's the story. That's the story. So.
All right, you take care of yourself.
You do the same, my brother. Thank you.
All right, you got it.
So then we got my man out of B-More who be staring up the weather, going from the sunshine to the rain, back to the sunshine and everything. We call my man DJ Joe Storm. What's up?
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Miss Lady D. Peace Queen. How you doing?
How you doing, Joe Storm? How's everything?
I can't complain. I ain't really got a question. The only thing I gotta say is keep being an inspiration to all the female DJs out there.
Yes, sir.
Just keep being an inspiration to DJs, period, in this whole culture. So I salute you for everything you have done and contributed to this game and what you're still doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So God bless you.
God bless you too, sir.
And once again, peace, Queen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And then we got DJ Michael. What's up?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Pretty good. My question is it any event that you prefer doing, or have you ever turned any down that you don't want to do?
I have turned venues down. Venues that depends on. Okay, so I have turned venues down. Like if somebody asks me to do something that I'm not very versed in. So let's take a 20-year-old or a 22-year-old. They want a whole bunch of hip hop and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could give you a good 15, 20, 30 minutes of that, but it ain't gonna be all night. So my preference is to say, yo, Tommy Guns. They got something over there.
I feel you.
I know my lane. I know my lane, and I stay in my lane. So I don't have to worry about, what record you asked me for? So, especially when it comes to the younger audiences, I love them. I'll give them, a little something, an old school set, but I leave that to the professionals.
I feel you. And my other question is, my number one question, do you do DJ drops?
Absolutely.
I'm going to let Square Knot handle that then.
Whatever you need, my brother.
All right. Well, we'll make that happen. I'll get your email, and then what I'll do is I'll send the scripts to you and go from there. Get all the DJs to submit the scripts, and we'll set a time for that so that we don't take up too much of your time to get them the scripts to me and then get them to you, and you can get them to us whenever you can.
No problem.
We'll go that route. But we have a lot of other visitors on here as well. We have Trina. What's up?
Trina. So Trina.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you are.
What's up, girl?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So, Lady D is definitely one of my role models. I met Lady D several years ago. We were introduced by a mutual friend, and she brought me into the business that people were talking about doesn't exist. And I will say that the work that I do in entertainment, it bloomed and blossomed and became bigger just by knowing Lady D Wells. And as I verbalized other things that I wanted to do in entertainment, she saw to it that I got it done and accomplished it, even scared. And I know I drive her crazy. I'm so sorry, Lady D, but I love you. Don't leave me.
No.
Don't ever leave me, girl. I can't do it. So, I mean, you know, she's seen me through venues. She's helped me produce parties. She pushes my brand. I've worked with so many people in entertainment. It is very uncommon, almost unheard of, I will say, that all of the people that I work with have reciprocated and pushed what I do. And Lady D has always done that. Separate from professional, separate from the work that we do, separate from the mentoring that she does with me, she's my friend. I appreciate her. I had to be here to listen and learn more about what she does. I learned a lot, Lady D, listening to this. It's going to help me with the work that I do for you.
Thank you.
You know, and I think that as we move forward, I'm starting to feel like now, like the Lady D Wells historian, because I've been really keeping up, because I do so much work for her. The work that people, the business that people think that doesn't exist, I'm here to tell you that it does. Because when it's time to make the graphics in the background and make her look right.
Video, all that good stuff. You hook me up.
Know, yeah, but I gotta know the brand, and I gotta know the brand. I gotta know the lady. I gotta know the professional. You know, I hear everybody talking about you as the DJ. I know you as the woman. You know, separate from the DJ, and how you give back to women, because I'm one of them. And I know there's a lot of us. I don't even like all the rest of them because I don't like sharing my friends. You know, so I appreciate you. I adore you. I love you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, and thank you again. I wanted to ask the question, but I was scared because I know Lady D don't like talking about death. You know, but how do you want to be remembered? When our time is done, what do you want people to say about Lady D Wells?
Listen, say what it is. I can't say what I would want to hear, but you say what it is. You know, our job as women, our job as people, and as Black people, we're supposed to do for one another. We're supposed to elevate each other. So I hope I left a legacy of some sort behind that people could look at that and say, you know what? Thank you. That's all I look for. I don't want your money. I don't want anything from you. But if I can help, that's what God put me here. He gave me something. It's almost like they say, teach a person how to fish. You'll never stop eating. You know, it's just one of those things. Whatever I know, I'm willing to share with you.
And I know that to be true. I know Lady D to give. Lord, don't try to give her something.
You know, next. Thank you, Trina. But Trina does a lot of the graphics that you guys see. She does all of my graphic flyers, a lot of them in the streets that you see. Trina's behind a lot of that. So Trina, you should leave your information because you do a lot of great work with my videos, with a lot of other promoters. You've worked with Red Alert, you've worked with Mr. C, you've worked, I mean, who name some of the artists that you've actually and took in and put on stages at your own parties.
Right, a lot.
A lot
of money spent, guys. A lot of money spent, a lot of money gone. Lady Alma, I'm trying to think of all of them. You put me on the spot. We just missed Jeff Red, that killed me. That broke my heart. You know, we've worked with Boogie Black. We've had all of the mainstream DJs, you know, the top ones, the big ones, we've had them, all because of Lady D again. I got to say that. I don't ever want to take credit and not say who put me in position. You know, if anybody ever listens to me, I let them know that. Every single solitary time, you need to know that. I never say me. I always say, well, I'm doing this, but you need to know Lady D put me in position. And I think for the first 4 to 6 months of that, I was burning your phone, driving you crazy, you know, because I had to maneuver a wheel I wasn't accustomed with, you know, and you walked me through that until I got comfortable and found that boss inside of me to be able to do it. So I could fly solo on that one, you know. So yeah, I work with just about all of the promoters graphically. All of the artists that are local to us, I've been able to work with. Lady D has really helped me grow that brand. She really has helped me grow that brand, where I was saying, I want to be bigger than a graphic designer. I want to be a promoter, you know, and she saw to it that I made that happen. you know, so she gives back to women in a big way, you know, and I don't know what made me blessed enough to have that gift, but I'm very grateful for it. I really am.
Well, that's a truly fire accolade. And Lady D Wells, that just goes to show that you have a giving heart and a giving spirit. And that's a beautiful thing in itself, which makes you just that much more a beautiful person.
Thank you.
So, you know, take that and keep that because that is part of your box. That is part of your, when you open up your box, your Lady D Wells box, you know, that gift, that spirit, that peace is one of the things that's sitting in your box. So that's a beautiful thing, and a salute to you on that. And Trina, make sure you put your information in the chat box. Make sure you put all that information, your contact information there as well, as requested by Lady D Wells as well. And I'm quite sure there are several others. Tommy Gunn said you do great graphics work as well. So make sure that you add all that in there, and we'll go.
Yeah. For those that go on Facebook, my name is Trina on Facebook, and everything on my page is public. I don't have a secret. My phone number is there. I am going to put it in the chat box. But those that search for me on Facebook, you'll find everything about me there, literally.
Appreciate
you know, I don't keep too many secrets because I'm selling stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, and people have to be able to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not selling a party, I'm selling graphics, I'm selling something. You know, and so I need people to be able to get in contact with me.
Okay.
You know, and I'm selling stuff for other people. If you need my help, give me a call.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. So the next person we have, she's sitting over there. She was confirming a few things, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call her next. Joe So Fab.
What's up, JoJo?
Unmute yourself.
Hey.
Hi,
How you doing?
Come on. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Can't complain. I mean, Lady D, what could I say? Everything everybody has said about her is the truth. You know, there's nothing that I can say. You know, personally, she's my friend. Trina, we got to share her. She's my friend. She's my sister. You know, sometimes we burn the midnight oil. I promote with her. She DJs with, you know, for us. We work together, and you know, she's honest with me and my business and my brand, and you know, there's nothing I can say. But one thing I wanted to ask you, you know,
sure,
being a female DJ in a man's world of DJing, a lot of men, but I see a lot more women because everything is going online right now. You know, what do you do to mentally and physically prepare yourself when you're going to do a live? What would you tell other women DJs?
So when you go live is funny, right? Live will tell everything about you, about what's in your house.
Yep.
Everybody be paying attention to what's in your living room beside what you playing. When I go live, I just go with a mindset that let me just go in and do whatever it is I think people want to hear. You know, it is what it is. You gotta get yourself dressed, and as women, you know, you gotta look good, you gotta look decent, because people looking at you, you know, you have to present yourself right.
Yes.
You have to present your background right. You have to present the equipment you have right. Because I remember when I first started doing lives, it was horrible. Tommy would call me, Howie D would call me, ooh, my name is Darlene. There's a D. Oh man, your levels. And I had to get that together. So it's a whole package deal. When you step on live, when you step in front of a camera, wherever you do, it's gotta be right. And my manager does not play with me.
Right.
He does not play with me. Z
don't play. That's
he
right.
don't play with me. Yo, lady, if I'm at a club and she's like, okay, what we doing next? How we doing this? She stays in she does a job. She stays in my ear to make sure that things are right.
I agree.
You just got to make everything right, especially when you're on live, though.
Yeah.
Even then, she's sometimes like calling and texting, yo, you got to do this, you got to do that. Play a little more old school. Play some house music, you know. So you really want to do it right. You want to get your your situation on point.
Yes. Thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
Love you, sis. Love you.
Yeah. Love you too.
Now, speaking of manager, it's only right, and I thank you for that segue, because we have her manager here with us.
Uh-oh.
And she's on Thornton's iPhone. Or I hope
Oh Lord, he messed my name up terribly.
I'm sorry, Zitine or
No, let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
I knew this was coming.
Please accept my apology and pronounce your name correctly so we all
You're gonna learn today.
Trust me, you are not the first and you're not the last.
Gotcha.
But my name is Zetine.
Zetine.
And
Okay.
Zetine, yes. The majority of the people, as you see, they call me Z. That's the safe lane to be in. They call me Z.
Well, Z.
Good evening. How are
what
you?
It is. Welcome, Z.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm well, and thank you for being here.
Oh, I know that I had better be here. It's my job. What I need say is that I am a promoter. I give events, have been for years. The first time that I encountered this magnificent woman is in 1997. DJ Hollywood used to play at my events, and he invited me to come to an event that evening to hear him play. But when I got there, she was playing first. And it was so crowded. Michael Eddie, a promoter, gave an event. It was just so uncomfortably crowded that myself and my girlfriend made our way up the stairs sideways into this secure corner. The music was pumping, and I just, for some reason, got sight of the DJ direct, and it was her. These were when they were playing with albums. And what I noticed was that I think all DJs have a decision on how they're gonna flow with their music before they get to the event. And so she had the albums turned up. But what I noticed and what took my attention is that she watched the crowd, and then what she had initially thought to play, she pushed that down and grabbed something else. That meant that she paid attention to the flow of the crowd, and a lot of DJs don't do that. They come in there and play just what they decided at home that they want to play. Never mind, it doesn't grasp the crowd. It doesn't keep the flow. It's what the intent is, and they're just going to go with it. She grabbed my attention, and from 1997, I contacted her, and such a humane individual, okay? And that's important also, because a lot of people feel that they're better than the next one because they're the DJ. That's just factual, but not her. She's very approachable, which is important, okay? And caring, as Trina said, just a beautiful individual, inward and outward. And I asked, what was this lady? I had never heard of her, never seen her. And I got her information and asked her to play on the first boat ride that I ever had. She's been my DJ since 1997.
Wow.
And it got to the point with myself as a woman promoter and this male-dominated field of promoters and male-dominated DJs, I said, we have to join forces. And that's what we did. And I've been her manager for at least 10 years. Okay, somebody had to be that forceful one, because she's pretty quiet, but I'm not. Nobody's taking advantage of her when I'm there. They all know it. Trust me, they all know it. Okay, but a humane individual, she knows her work. She's open for suggestion at all times. And as she spoke in regard to those children, we did that for my church, for First Corinthian Baptist Church. We decided to have those kids come and learn the art of DJ, and they were amazing. And they were so, she was like, they're gonna take my job. Some of those little girls, they were so engaged, she got afraid they might take her job. But you have to give back to your community. You have to give back, and that's what she does in any way that she can. I don't have a lot of questions to ask her because I ask her anyway all the time. All right, but I just want people to know that this is a woman who cares. And she's a great DJ, and she cares, and that's important. And I love her, and I'm going to be by her side as long as she allowed me to. I see you, Tommy Guns. Tommy Guns acts up, trust me, but I love him. Yes, I love him. I love everybody. Josephine, glad to see everybody here. We support her, and this is important in our community. We need to support each other. Okay. And you have a blessed evening, sir. And you keep calling me Z, okay?
Thank you very much. And Z, it will be.
You have a blessed evening. Thank you for having her on.
Thank
We
you for your
appreciate
support.
that so much.
Thank you. Indeed, indeed.
Take care.
Our next DJ, this DJ here, he does some fabulous, absolutely fabulous work as it relates to remixes, and he knows how to get down with the island vibes, the whole deal. Who am I talking about? DJ Silent Professor.
Wow.
What's up, my man?
Hey,
Good evening to you.
how are you?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. So I don't have any questions, but we'll say I'm looking at a pioneer, a businesswoman, and a lady that knows her way through the music. So I just appreciate the art form and what you're doing, especially with integrating music with youth, because they are our future. So I thank you for everything you're doing. And I do hope to see that radio station come back, because I know how much of a hassle it can be, but I also know how much a benefit it can be. So thank you for everything that you do, and I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Throw me some of the remixes.
I got you.
All right.
All right. So now we're going to move to some of the female DJs that's in here. Beside, we got B. We hit BB right off the bat, but now we're going to shift over to Niche Nice. What's up?
Hey, good afternoon, good evening.
How you doing, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
First, I would like to give you a salute. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you're going to do. I just have a question.
Sure.
Have you ever felt like giving up, like DJing? Anything that made you want to give up, or you thought about giving up, or what makes you keep going?
Well, the love of music, that's what keeps me going. I've been doing it for so long. And actually, I did think about kind of sort of changing gears fully before the COVID. I wanted to go straight promotions, do promotions and training and teaching kids. When COVID hit, I said, oh my goodness, this is not good. And then when we lost Tommy Allen and we lost DJ Lance, that took me to another place. And as time went on, I said, you know what? You got to live this music through these guys, because one was always on my right side and one was on my left side in the clubs. And I played with them for so long. I just didn't feel like this was the time for me to give up. But I did want to give up before that and stop playing. And, I just changed gears. And I said, let me just get back on my feet and continue, doing what we did, continue to work.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up. Keep it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So now we're going to go to the legendary DJ Baby D of the Mercedes Ladies.
Hey, girl.
Hi. Oh, my Shiro. Oh, I love you. Okay. I have fell off the face of the earth. I joined the military, got married and everything. So I kind of stopped my craft
For your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And so this group has been wonderful. They got me to start getting back into it, and I got the laptop, and I'm currently getting that all set up to get everything ready. My question to you is, what advice would you give to me?
As far as,
getting back into the game.
Come on back in. You never lose the craft. You never lose the art. It's just the love of music.
Right.
I listened to your interview, and I know that you more or less like vinyl, right?
Yeah, I like vinyl, but I know I'm going to get into what's going on now. I realize that.
Trust me, I thought I'd never leave vinyl, but I'll tell you the truth. It's tough going. I'll do vinyl, but I prefer the laptop, and you'll get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the The difference is the crates for me. Carrying crates of records, I ain't into that.
Mm-hmm.
You get to carry a lot more music too on the laptop. And a lot of people that's listening, you DJs, I just gotta say this. I don't care what's on your laptop. I'll give you all my music.
Mm-hmm.
You better be able to use it like me. You'll never, I don't care if you put somebody in front of a crowd of 1,000 people. You gotta know how to use that laptop. You gotta know how to use the music in there to make the people dance, keep them happy, keep them in the game, keep them buying drinks. It's like I said, it's a business.
Right.
You have the music and you don't know how to play it,
it's a wrap.
I can't even tell you. But if you love the music and you know how to play it and you know the errors and you know how to mix the music in the errors that you playing, you ain't never gonna have a problem.
Okay, that, all that, was coming back to me, when I went and I was working at the mess hall and the Marines were like, oh, it's so boring. So I had my little iPod. I was like, I just kept hearing them talking about they want to hear music. They want to hear music. I'm looking at the iPod and I was like, I'll be right back. Came back the next day and just had a whole slew of music for everybody, from country on down to the old school, the whole 9 yards. And my boss, he's from Brooklyn, so he remembers Mercedes Ladies. He looked at me, and then, my husband was standing there. He looked at my husband. He said, when the hell are you going to make her go back and DJ? Because that's an iPod, and she still got everything, boom, boom, boom. And these guys are loving it. So, yeah, like I said, Square Knot and, Big Body, all, this group is just a wonderful group, and they sparked me to come back. So I was like, I'm coming back.
You just took a little time off, and now it's just the technology is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It works in your favor. All you gotta do is just learn it. It's not that difficult. If I could even help you with anything, please give me a call.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, can I hit you up? I'm hitting up everybody. DJ Lady Love, LaSpank, everybody. They're like, what did you just say? I said, I'm gonna come back out. And they were like, no. Can I do it? Can I do it? I was like, I'm being picky and choosy about who's gonna help me right now. But yeah, it's God, but I love you.
Anytime anybody need anything, just give me a call. I'm a phone call away.
Okay, thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you, and listen, welcome back to the world.
Thank you. I'm back to it. Yay!
All right. Cool beans. Looking forward to that. And I told Baby D, I said, hey, you're only an hour and 15 minutes away from me. If I need to pack up the tables, I'll pack up the tables. If I need to pack up the controllers, I'll pack up the controllers, and we'll just walk through everything. So she's working on some things. And then I told her, I said, as soon as you're ready, I'll take some equipment down there because
I'm ready.
More than enough. So we're good to go.
I'm ready.
We're going to definitely do that. I'll call you this week and we'll get it going.
Okay, cool. And also, I spoke to the guy where I cleaned his club, and I was kind of telling him that I wanted to get back in it. And he said, okay, we'll sit down and we'll talk and we'll set you up on a system and let's take a listen. I was like, ooh, okay.
Cool beans.
Just have fun with it. And, do what you know. That's it.
Yeah, I get crazy like Flash. So I'm like, I got to tone some things down because, like I was telling Big Body, some of the music is kind of different, but I'm like listening to what's out now. And I hear some of our old school beats. And I was like, it's not that hard to like play this music that, the millennials here like today, but we can also slip in some of our beats. And you can make something new. So you blend the two and make something new. And that's my goal, to do that.
Right. Excellent.
All right. So now we got DJ Cool G. He confirmed a few things that you were talking about there, Lady D Wells.
Okay.
So I'm going to let him speak on those.
What's going on?
What's up, guy? How you doing?
Lady D, what's going on?
What's up, partner?
Man, I got to disagree with one thing that you said. You said this was a male-dominated business. I disagree because you put your feet in your hands in the concrete, in the foundation, and you turned it to where you balanced it, where it's men and women together. And we got to share this platform together. And we got to learn from each other. And that's what I did. I learned from you. You've always been an inspiration. And when you started XL DJS Radio, the first thing I said was, I got to get in contact with her because I want to be part of the franchise. I want to be part of the family.
Thank you.
So when you picked up that phone and you accepted my call, I was like the happiest man in the world. I appreciate the fact that you trusted in me to show you what I had, and especially what I learned from you. I learned so much, and I took that, and when I walk down the road and I do the events that I do, the first thing I say is, I'm going to teach them and show them what Lady D taught me. So I thank you so much for that. And, a couple of people one person mentioned about, quitting. A couple of times I was even thinking about, quitting and hanging up the gloves. And then I hear you, I see you at a venue, I'll pop up, you know me, I'm like the ghost. I'll pop up at a venue, don't announce myself or anything, and then walk up on the stage and give you a hug. So when I see you up there working hard, it tells me, hey, wait a minute, you can't retire. You can't give up the gloves because you know what? She's working hard up there. She taught you a lot of stuff that you know. So you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing.
Right.
Don't get tired of doing what you're doing. It's in your blood. So you got to keep doing what you're doing. And that's what keeps me motivated.
People love what you do, brother. I see what you're doing. I watch you. They love what you do. And nobody does it in a particular way that you do it. So your clientele up there in Westchester, they feeling that, and keep them happy. Because it's all about the people, right? What we do, we give people an outlet to know that, okay, I'm gonna let my hair down Saturday night. I'm gonna get dressed. And I always tell people, you come into a club or you come into a party, there was a lot involved in that besides you picking up a laptop and picking up your controller or your speakers, right? People went and got babysitters, they went and got their hair done, they bought outfits, they went and put money into the events for us to come in there and do what we do. And you have played for some real high-end clients. I don't even want to talk about the clients you play for. You understand? So I already know where you at. The bottom line is there's a lot into what we do and how we orchestrate these clubs and these parties. And again, the business side of it is being on time, not coming in there with raggedy ass equipment. I'm sorry for saying that, but that happens. Stuff cutting off. You don't even know what your stuff sound like. It got to a point even for me, I don't ever do sound again because I can't lift the speakers. I ain't trying to lift the speakers. I rent sound out. I hire people to come in and do sound for me. And your sound has a lot to do with how you're going to play and what you're going to sound like in your performance. So I've seen what you do. I know the level of professionalism that you give people. It's just your heart got to stay in it, and your heart's staying in it. I appreciate you for that, though. But always remember that, and I say that to everybody out there. It's a lot that people do to prep to come to an event that you're going to play at. At least give them a show. Give them a show that they ain't going to forget. And I live by that. DJ Desire, if you're still there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, indeedy.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely right. One of my questions that I have, you know me, I transformed into doing a lot more private events because of some of the clients I was able to get and stuff like that. And it was much easier for me to do that instead of, trying to battle with trying to get into some of the local spots. Being that you teach the younger generation, you also teach the older generation because we all still learning from you. Have you ever considered going in a different direction and branching out into having your own company, booking DJs for these private events and for these other events that's going on?
You know what I would prefer doing other than that is kind of like a DJ grooming company. And just watching somebody, going out to watch what they do at the event and be able to tell them and critique what they do. And not in a negative sense, just to say, okay, maybe you could button up this, maybe you could do that. That's what I would do. Getting work is not a problem. But if you qualify to do the work, I ain't gonna do the work, pass it on to you, no problem. If you can handle that. There's a lot in that too. I don't want to pass something on to somebody that's unable to do an event and they're gonna expect a level of excellence from you. We all can't be each other, But if you're ready for it, let's go. I don't join teams. I don't do teams because we all a team anyway. But if you looking for some work, and if I got work for you, I'll pass that work right to you if you're ready. That's all it is.
Okay. You know me, I'm always ready.
Don't make me look bad now.
But I thank you for everything that you do. Keep it up. As long as you keep it up, I'm gonna keep it up. So
we'll work on it. With y'all help, I'm gonna definitely do that for sure.
Okay.
All right. So as I look at the time, I see that we're 5 minutes after. I know that you are you have some things that you have to do. So I'll ask you, how are we on that? Are you ready?
Keep going. If you want to keep going, we can keep going. I'll take care of that.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we have a couple DJs on here.
Sure.
But like I say, I always want to be mindful of your time.
No problem. I'm good.
We have DJ Desire, who you called out.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. What's up, D Wells?
What's up, DJ Desire? What's going on?
You know, we've worked together, we've laughed together, we've cried together.
That's right.
I just have a comment, then I have a question.
Sure.
In these trying times, I think more than ever, it's important that we build relationships, whether it be the relationship with your crowd or relationships in the business community. It is a little unfortunate that I know Cool G does a lot of private events. What the club thing has become, there are no more clubs. If you do happen to invite a DJ into your realm, you have to be mindful that they may not have that same togetherness thought that you have. Right. And I will say one thing I appreciate about my relationship with you is that money is not the primary motivator in anything we do.
Right.
Integrity. Let me ask you, what can we do as DJs, more so than just promoters? What can we do to build a sense of community that's been lost? Because there was a time when that wasn't the case. Nowadays, it's almost like DJs are like crabs in the barrel. Do you have any thoughts or suggestions about what DJs can do collectively to try to build a better community? Because I think we could all use a little bit of uplifting and a better spirit throughout the DJ community as a whole.
So what I understand here is I see that there are DJs that pretty much are not, they're pretty much left out, so to speak. But what has to happen is, as DJs, we have to know that we have people we can come together and DJ together and build together. There's a lot you can do to get recognition or get recognized, so to speak. So build a team, right, Tom? You, myself, I don't care. Let's build and do DJ, what you call them things? Flash drives. All of us hand in the mix and put a flash drive together and distribute it amongst people in the street. That's how you get recognized, and that's how DJs stick together. You understand what I'm saying? So, you say, oh, Wells, yo, give me 20 minutes of a mix. I want to put that on my flash drive or my mix CD. Yo, Tommy Guns, whomever, let's put a CD together and multiply that CD and just give it out. A lot of people get work like that.
Understood.
It's so many multiple ways to get work and be recognized out here. So I understand where you at with it. Like Gary's saying, it's crabs in the barrel, and he just stepped out and started doing private events, whether it's private events or club events. It's an event.
Right.
And somebody gets to hear you. You have to be innovative as well. You have to say, okay, let me find out what I can do to get some people together. Let me get with some of the people I know that are organized, and let's make this happen. All I look for, Tom, is you wanting to do it. Once you say you want to do it, I'm in. And I'm going to ride your shoulder until you stop. If you stop, I'm going to stop.
Right.
But if you keep going, I'm going to be right there with you. You were my DJ at Taboo.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And I made that a point that you came and opened for me and you closed for me. it can happen. Anything can happen.
You also allowed me to bring out that big sound system, and we could tear the walls down.
Yes,
Looking
sir.
forward to that. Got that Richard Long system standing by on deck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're gonna be doing some major events. Hopefully, if we can ever get back to normal, whatever. All right, for sure.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Love
Tom.
you, D.
Love you too, buddy.
All right, we got DJ Rivs. I hope I got that right.
XL DJs. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Lady D Wells, let me tell you, she gave an opportunity to go on XL DJs radio. Now, I'm from another camp. I'm down with Hollywood. And she said, come on in. And I submitted some work for her, and she'll tell you how it went. I don't like to pat myself on the back, like my brother over there, Tommy Guns, the corner boy. That's my man right there. My brother from another mother, Cool G. But real quick, because like you said, time is of the essence. Lady D Wells, to me, is the first woman who had Serato technology. And let me tell you why. I did an event for her with Black Sense Entertainment on the west side. I bought my speakers and sound system. And all she had was a laptop. She innovated that thing to where no more crates, no more CDs and bags and books. I was so blown away by this thing when she pulled it out. I got one that next month.
Oh, God.
First came out. I mean, she was the first person I ever seen have Scratch Live.
Yeah. Well, I got that from, you know who I got that from? I went and saw Jazzy J.
You went to
that sucker, and I said, what is that? And I got it. And then when I brought it into Kiss, Hot 97 was right across the hallway.
Across the hall. Yep.
I could see them when I was using it, looking in from the side. They was like, what is that? That's when that thing took off. It took off. Chuck Chill Out used to always say to me when he was at his spot, oh, get out of here with that crap. Get out there with that crap. And now I see him, I say, oh, so you're using the crap now, huh? Put the vinyls down.
I did Valley Day with Johnny G a few years back, and Chuck Chill Out came over to play. He didn't have it set, he played on my set.
Right.
He didn't understand the controller. He didn't understand the laptop. He said, where the CDs? Where the vinyls? Chuck, man, we left that alone. I got 60 crates. I'm not carrying that no more.
He didn't really like the Serato, but he started using it. I used to get him.
He got through that day with it. But once again, Lady D, thank you for all that you do.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We have, I saw him on here, DJ Lionel. Okay, while we're waiting for him, let's get over to Ali.
Oh.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Chilling. I can't call it. How you doing?
Good, sir. Good, sir.
You know I got nothing but love for you.
Likewise.
From the days of the Taboo.
Yes, sir. Holly was my security. Holly was my security.
Yeah. Yeah, still on call.
Yes, sir.
Still on call. From Taboo down to, what was that place out in Hempstead?
Aura. Club Aura.
No, the one that was off of Hempstead Turnpike. That didn't last that long with Bedrock.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of that. Yeah, it was so short, I forgot the name. We didn't stay there.
It was a crew of us. It was a crew of us, yeah.
Sometimes it works, man. Sometimes you get a good club, and sometimes it doesn't work out well. You know.
Hey, D, check out the shirt I got on.
Oh wait, you know what? You know what you doing? My manager and I did Legends of the Wheels of Steel. That was one of my big promotions. I had, God rest him, Lovebug Starsky, Red Alert. Who else we had on the bill, man? And it was crazy. DJ Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Oh my God. That was a lineup and a half, boy. The line was around.
Eddie Cheever. Eddie Cheever. And KC. I figured this was going to be the right time to put it on. You see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got one too. Thank you so much for all the work you've done with me, and hopefully when we get over this COVID, we can pick up and resume where we left.
Of course. I done expanded my my craft.
Thank you for doing it.
You know, but it was all through you, though. I mean, we had some good times back in the days. From going out there to, what was it, Mount Vernon that time, or Westchester?
We done been across country, so we, the whole thing though is to keep your health up, keep your life together, so we can continue to do this when this
of course.
That's all I just try to keep myself up to par,
Yeah. But nah, you really did. You know, I studied you for the longest, and even though I don't play music, but you know, I remember that one time when we sat there and I said, "There's one little skit that everybody do," and then the next thing I know, I turned around and you changed it up. I was like, "Okay, there you go." But the best thing was the way we used to pack out Taboo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, with the promotion.
I gotta say what's up to Bobby Goodrich, who made that happen. And also to Dr. New, who brought me into Taboo.
Right, I remember.
Without Dr. New bringing me into Taboo to meet Bobby and Steve G, I would have never took off.
Yeah. We used to pack that place out. Those are back in the good old days. With the promotion that we put in,
yes.
With the promotion, that was the biggest thing. And people couldn't understand it. Even the security used to be like, "Yo, wait a minute. You know, you got..."
But Tommy Allen, I got to give him credit too, because Tommy and I would rotate. He would do
Yeah.
I would do the other, and the influx of people on each Friday would blow it up, and then both of us would be enticed to like do so well on our night that we would bring them back. And one of the things that with the DJing, we did a live broadcast at 2 a.m. So
live broadcasting for Kiss
until 2 a.m. So the club opened at 10. We had to play all the way up until 2 to keep the people in there, and then go real hard at 2 when you're trying to slow it down around. He was just picking it up, man. So it was a lot of work, and I appreciate
And then after that, we go hit breakfast.
Yes, sir.
And go get the wash your car.
I appreciate you, Ollie. I appreciate you, man.
The
Thank you.
24-hour car wash.
Yes, sir.
But that was after we get something to eat.
You know, we're going to keep in touch, Ollie. Me and you going to talk. We're going to kick.
Definitely.
Brother, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, you know it. I couldn't have missed out on this point. I couldn't have. What's up, Z?
Cool beans.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it's good to be able to reminisce and also be able to recall all the different things that your team has experienced, and to be able to just know what you've done, the body of work that you've been able to do, and then push that forward. And even through this pandemic, of course, like I say, we take this time as a time where it's just preparation for what is to come in the craft.
Yes.
So that's what that's about. And we got I see one on here called Bambi.
Oh, yes. One of my 108 supporters, and I support the beans she cooks. She's great. Hi, Bambi. She on?
I see her there, but she didn't unmute. Okay.
Were you talking to me?
Yes.
Hi.
No,
who?
no. Bambi.
Oh, Bambi. Okay.
Okay. But she didn't unmute. DJ Lionel didn't unmute. So I know we went over time, and we really appreciate you for that. So I'm going to go ahead on and try to get you going, because I know you're a busy woman and you got things you need to do. But we just really, really appreciate you being here. And we have learned so much more about you. And, I had the question of 2 questions left. And it is, what is your preferred equipment? And also, as a female DJ, do you find it what challenges have you faced in terms of this DJ world, minus the, let's take out the COVID piece, and being that it's a male dominated situation. I understood a little bit of what DJ Cool G said, but at the same time, there is that factor there. What are those challenges that you found?
Start with that first one. I mean, well, this one with being a male, it is, and I know what Cool G is saying. I mean, but you're meeting me now at the level I'm at now, and it took a while to get here, and it took a while to get the respect, and it took a while to understand that, you know, when you come in, you kind of sort of fitting into people's work, and you're kind of sort of working in promoters that the guys work with. When you first get on there and you're a woman, it's cute, it's, you know, oh, she's cute. But then when you really start coming in and doing what they do and working at the level that they work at and taking clients, like how I got my manager to hire me, and then she began working for me after that. It's not cute anymore. You are actually a part of a world. There are a lot of things that are done in a man's world that you have to still maintain that woman inside you because you're still a lady, you know? Sometimes I've had to step back and allow men to do what they do. And I'm just being 100% honest. It's not like they being disrespectful. Men are just challenging creatures. They like the freaking challenge. And, you know, then they'll slide over at points when I was coming up. They would slide over. Okay, let her get on. She's going to open up. She's going to open up. And eventually, I started to become the closer. Then I started doing them on my own. You just have to understand that some people really like the control and to have that control. And unfortunately, it's not a thing that women do. Women don't say, oh, well, I want to be a DJ when I get older. I know that wasn't what I wanted to be when I got older, but I respect the fact that look how many men is on this line. Look how many women. And I appreciate the fact that sisters are now getting back into this, and women I'm starting to see more sisters in the game, but there was a real period that I didn't see any women in this. So it is what it is, but I'm happy to see that women are now getting into this. And people respect me for who I am and, you know, the advice that I could give them. So yeah, it's starting to change now. So, but at one point it wasn't like that. And it is what it is, you know? You just, thank God you get keep your foot stuck into that position to help people come in, women come in and grow with the business. And any woman that wants to talk, any guy that wants to talk, yeah, give me a call. It ain't, you know, at that point, Cool G, you're right. It's not a man or woman thing. Not for me at this point. At this point, I don't care who wants to play with me. We play together. It is what it is. I'll open for you. I'll set the stage for you right, and I will set it up so nice for you that you got the floor at the end, you know, from the middle of the night to the end. I'll set you up real nice because that's how I am. I don't got to prove anything. I'm good.
That's beautiful. And in terms of your preferred equipment, I know you said it's really nice to be able to carry that laptop because you have so much more music. And then also you ain't got to carry them crates, because anybody that has, from back in the day, that has carried crates, you know exactly what she's talking about. Them crates was 25, 30 pounds sometimes.
And I had the double ones, man. And that, you know, they were heavy. I mean, I like the fact with the new technology, you have the flexibility of playing any style music. You can even go on some of these and download the music while you playing it.
Yes.
That's the great thing about today.
Well, with the crates though, back in the days when you used to have those little 50-cent parties, if you carried in a crate, you was in for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, right now, I would prefer is CDJs. I like a controller. I like turntables with the laptop. That's my second best thing. I still like turntables. I have six 1200s. So every so often when I'm home in South Carolina, they come out and I start working. So I never lose a touch of turntables.
Cool beans. Well, I will tell you this. If you're ever in North Carolina, please don't hesitate to look me up. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate. Here from the DJ Information Group. We consider you family now, so
God bless you.
you
Thank
are
you.
part of us. And the last question that I always ask is, what homework do you have for the group?
Wow, that's a good one. The homework I have is just stay, without stretching it, know your audience. Don't reach too far out if you don't really know the music. Don't reach too far out. Don't go at it for the money. Go at it because you know it and you love it. That'll keep you safe. If you want to learn new music, get with somebody that knows that style of music, and then they can kind of help you work, teach you. I've learned a little bit about Latin music. I'm not a professional with it. And when I say professional, like you said, getting paid is business. So what I'll hire a Latin DJ to come alongside of me and do weddings and things like that. And I stay in my lane with my old school, some of my R&B and house and whatever it is. But know your lane, folks. Know your lane going into this game. It makes you look a lot better than trying to do everything, because you got to be a master at your craft, especially when you're getting paid for it.
Indeed, indeed.
Right.
DJ Yossi, do you have anything before we close out? You have anything for DJ Lady D before we close out? DJ Yoshi, hold on. Go ahead. DJ Yoshi.
Hi, Yoshi.
We can barely hear you, sir.
Yeah, I can hear him a little.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say salute and continue what you're doing with the community. That's always a blessing to give back to these kids.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate that. And DJ BB, she has something to point out real quick.
Sure.
Check your inbox. I got something that DJ Silent Professor just sent me. I'll send it to you. This is his creation.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely do that once we get it together. And like I said, you can get my number out. I don't have a problem with anyone calling, questions, music, because we all throw the music in. You got that record? Where you get that record? No problem. It's all good. I got you.
Okay.
Well, this has truly been an honor and a pleasure to be able to talk to you and to be able to really dig into who you are as an individual, not only as a DJ, but just to know your spirit and to know your heart and know that you have, like I said in that box, you have that giving spirit. You have that thing. And just like you just said just now, not too many people are going to come on here and say, give them my number, and be able to, and you will take that call. That's a beautiful thing. And that shows that you have that giving spirit. You have that thing to where you want to help people. And you know what? God is going to bless you for that constantly, as he has already done in your talents, in your endeavors, and everything that you do. So we really, really appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for accepting and coming on and sharing this with us tonight. You are awesome, and we salute you.
God bless you all. Y'all be safe with this COVID. Please be safe so we can get things back to normal, all right?
All right. We will definitely do our best. That's for sure.
Thank you all.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right now.
Bye-bye.